Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to do right now is we're going to quickly and briefly go through your homework. I just want to make sure that this is making sense to you. I hope that it is. None of this stuff was too difficult. A lot of this was just basically 7th or 8th grade math review. And then some of it had a little bit more to it, but we should be able to handle that. So I'm going to try to move through this pretty quickly. Please get out your homework and follow along and check to see if you got things right or wrong, and to give you an idea of where you're at. If you got something wrong, let's, trying to take a look at how I'm doing it. But like I said, I am going to move quickly. Okay, this first one said, hey, in this picture, they made a pyramid whose base is only 0.675 meters when it was actually supposed to be 675 meters. And they say, so what is the ratio of the length of the small one to what it should be? Well, we'd have to say 0.675 over 675. And we typically don't have decimals in fractions. So what I would do is I'd multiply the top and bottom by 1,000, which would give me 675 over 675,000. And if you're unsure how to reduce that, you can see that 675 goes into the top and bottom. It goes in the top once, goes in the bottom 1,000 times. So that is the simplified ratio. The ratio of the small one to the big one is 1 to 1,000. It's a 1,000th scale. Okay. The number 2, the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy is about 185 feet tall. A model Leaning Tower of Pisa is 6 inches tall. What is the ratio of the height of the model to the height of the real tower? Now, some people are going to be tempted to say 6 to 185, and that is wrong unless you say 6 inches to 185 feet. And there still, we want to talk about the same units at the same time. So I can do this 2 different ways. I can convert everything to feet or convert everything to inches. Honestly, 185 times 12 starts to get to be a pretty big number. I think it's easier to convert 6 inches to feet and say that's 0.5 feet to 185 feet. And again, we don't want to have decimals and fractions, so we just multiply the top and bottom by 2. And that gives me 1 over 185 times 2 is 370. So it's 1 to 370. All right, next. 3 through 11 are all basically going, hey, do you understand the laws of proportions based on this figure? Okay, so it says 4a. 4a would be equal to 3b. We're just cross-multiplying. Number 4, b over a. Well, b over a, if they just inverted that side, we'd have to invert the other side. It would be 4 over 3. Number 5, a over 3 is equal to what? Well, that one, they've kind of looked at it sideways. A is to 3, the same way that b is to 4. Number 6, they spun the whole thing around and flipped it over. And so 4 over 3 would be equal to b over a. Number 7, they've spun it around and looking at it sideways. And so 4 is to b the same way that 3 is to a. Number 8, again, they just did some cross multiplication. 3b is equal to 4a. We said earlier, if 4a is equal to 3b, well then 3b is definitely equal to 4a. Number 9, all they did was add the denominator to the top. So that means we would have 3 plus 4 over 4, which is the same thing as 7/4. On number 10, they added the numerator to the bottom, which would give us 3 over 3 plus 4, so it would give us 3/7. And number 11, they looked at it sideways and then added the denominator to the top and bottom. So that would mean this would be b plus 4 over 4. And that doesn't simplify. B plus 4 over 4, because you can't combine the b and the 4. Okay, next. Number 1, a scale model of a boat is 9 inches long. The actual boat is 45 feet. Find the ratio of the length of the scale model to the actual boat. Well, it's 9 to 45, but the problem is that's feet and inches. And so we want to convert this. Now this one, I'm going to go ahead and convert the bottom to inches and say 9 inches. 45 times 12 inches per foot is what, 540 inches. And that reduces. 9 goes into 540 60 times. So this becomes 1 to 60. All right, the next one, we're just going to cross multiply. We got 12x and 8 15. So we know that 12x is equal to 8 times 15 is 120. Divide both sides by 12, and x is equal to 10. Number 3. A map uses a scale of 1 centimeter is 15 miles. A county is 120 miles wide. So how wide is the county on the map? Well, if 1 centimeter is equal to 15 miles, then blank centimeters is equal to 120 miles. You got to keep the miles with the miles, the centimeters with the centimeters. Cross multiply, and you get that 15x is equal to 120. Divide both sides by 15, and we get that x is equal to 8. So it's x is equal to 8 centimeters. All right. 4, 5, and 6 are just like the problems we've already done, so they should be really simple. If x over y is equal to 3 over 4, then y over x is equal to 4 over 3. 7y. So you go, wow, how did they get 7y? Well, what they did there is they added, I don't know if this is going to be a tough one. So what they did is they added the denominator to both sides. Like that. And they said if that's true, x plus y over y is equal to 7 over 4. Then they cross-multiplied this times this. And so the correct answer would be 4 times x plus y, or 4x plus 4y. I'd be impressed if anybody got that one right, because I know that one was kind of crazy. And then lastly, x plus y over y is equal to 3 plus 4 over 4, or 7/4. Pretty simple. But number 5 was kind of a tricky one. I got you. Okay, 12 through 20. Now we're solving proportions. I'm going to move through these really quickly because this is definitely the 7th and 8th grade math. Okay, this first one, number 12, we cross multiply. We get that 4x is equal to 16, so therefore x is 4. Number 13, we get that 9x is equal to 15, so therefore x is 15 ninths, which reduces to 5 thirds. Number 14, 3x is equal to 12, so therefore x is equal to 4. Number 15, I'm going to kind of write a little bit down here. Number 15 is 8x is equal to 55, so therefore x is equal to 55 eighths. Number 16, 5x is equal to 36, so therefore x is equal to 36 over 5. And number 17, 5x is equal to 36, so x is equal to 36 over 5. And both of those could reduce. You can say that's the same thing as 7.2. But I'm sorry, they don't reduce. They simplify to a decimal if you want them to. All right. And then 18, 19, and 20 all get at least a little bit more complicated because there's some distributing that has to happen. So on number 18, I'm going to work it down here real quick. Number 18, you would say 4 times x plus 3 is equal to 3 times, well, 10 plus 4 is 14, so 3 times 14. Distribute on this side, you get 4x plus 12 is equal to 3 times 14 is 42. Subtract the 12, you get 4x is equal to 30, so therefore x is equal to 30/4, which is 7.5. Number 19, x plus 7 over 7 is equal to 15 over 5. And so when you cross multiply, you got to distribute. You get 5 times x plus 7 is equal to 7 times 15, which is 105. So you get 5x plus 35 is equal to 105. Subtract the 35, and we get 5x is equal to 70, and therefore x is equal to 14. All right, and then I got to get to number 20. Have not done that one yet. Let's find some room here. All right, with number 20, you have what? 3 over 5 is equal to 6 over x plus 3. So when you cross multiply, you get 3 times x plus 3 is equal to 5 times 6, which is 30. So this gives me 3x plus 9 is equal to 30. Subtract the 9, 3x is equal to 21. So therefore x is 7. All right. Number 25 says, you want to make a scale drawing of your bedroom to help you arrange your furniture. You decide that the scale of 3 inches is going to be equal to 2 feet. Your bedroom is 12 by 15. What should the dimensions of your scale drawing be? Okay, and so this one might be a little bit difficult because they give you a bunch of information. And you might feel like, wait a minute, I've got 2 numbers and 2 numbers. I'm not missing. What you have to think about is, you got to think about it this way, is you got to think about what that scale says. Okay, and the scale says that 3 inches is equal to 2 feet. And you know your room is 12 feet in one of the dimensions. So the question is, how many inches is that going to be? So it's going to be 2x is equal to 3 times 12 is 36. So therefore, x is equal to 18. So it's going to be 18 inches in one of the ways. And then do the exact same thing, but this time swap out the 12 for a 15. And you go, okay, 3 inches is 2 feet in the same way that x number of inches is 15 feet. Cross multiply, you get that 2x is equal to 45, so therefore x is equal to 22.5. So 22.5 inches. So what we did there is we knew that this was the relationship. 3 inches was equal to 2 feet. 3 inches was equal to 2 feet. And we didn't know how many inches a certain number of feet was. And so that's why we had to set up a proportion like that. Hopefully that made some sense. I know we're moving quick. All right. 26, 27, 28, it just says, hey, go ahead and find the ratio of the longer side to the shorter side. So we get 65 to 30, which reduces to 13 to 6. Next one, 50 to 40, which reduces to 5/4. And the next one is a little bit tricky, 2 feet to 18 inches. 2 feet is longer, and that's because it's 24 inches to 18 inches, each divisible by 6. You get 4 to 3. All right. Number 29 says the diameter of a dinner plate is 1 foot, but in a dollhouse, the diameter is only 1 1/4 inches. What is the ratio using whole numbers of the diameter of the dollhouse plate to the diameter of the full-size plate? Well, for that one, you'd say, well, it's 1 1/4 is to 12 inches. Okay, but it doesn't want us to do that. It wants whole numbers involved. So we've got to look at this. We could say this is the same thing as 5/4 to 12 inches, and we could multiply the top and bottom by 4. Here, the 4s would cancel out, and that would only leave us with a 5 up top, and on the bottom, 4 times 12 is 48. So the ratio is 5 to 48, believe it or not. All right, 30 to 33, again, same old thing. Do you understand the laws and rules of proportions? It says if x is to 7 the same way y is to 3, then x is to y the same way 7 is to 3. 31. If 4m is equal to 9n, then m over n is equal to 9 over 4. And I know that because all I have to do is think about cross multiplying. And here, the 4 would be multiplied times the m, and then 9 is times the n. All right, let's see, get rid of this. There we go. Okay, number 32. If 30 is to t the same way 18 is to r, then t is to r the same way 30 is to 18. And number 33, if a plus 5 is to 5 the same way b plus 2 is to 2, then a over 5 is just like b over 2. Pretty straightforward and simple. All right, home stretch. Last few problems. All right, again, these are just your 7th and 8th grade math, so we're going to move quickly. Number 35, you can cross multiply, and you would get that 25y is equal to 150, so therefore y is 6. For 36, you would get that 9n is equal to, what, 12 times 24 is 288. Divide both sides by n, and you get that n, divide both sides by 9, and you get that n is 32. 37. 14b is equal to 11 times 21 is 231, I think. Boy. And then divide both sides by 14. Yikes. I know that 7 goes into 231 a whole lot of times. It goes in 33 times, and 7 goes into 14 2 times. So it reduces to 33 over 2, which is the same thing as 16.5. All right. 38. Cross multiply, we get that 10 times x minus 3 is equal to 5x. So that gives me 10x minus 30 is equal to 5x. Subtract the 10x from both sides, we get negative 30 is equal to negative 5x. And then when you go ahead and divide, you get x is equal to 6. Okay? 39. Cross multiply, we get that 8n is equal to 4 times n plus 4. So that gives me 8n is equal to 4n plus 16. Subtract the 4n. 4n is equal to 16, so therefore n is equal to 4. And only a couple more to go. Let's see here. Number 40. We're just going to say cross multiply. We get that 5b is equal to 12 times 2b minus 1. And we get 5b is equal to 24b minus 12. Subtract the 24b from both sides. Boy, this one is gross, isn't it? Subtract the 24b from both sides. We get negative 19b is equal to negative 12. So therefore, b is equal to 12/19. The negatives cancel out. Ugh. That one's all sorts of fun. I'm going to move this down a little bit. Okay, so I can see the last couple. And for 41, when we cross multiply, we get that 2x is equal to 7 times x minus 5. When you distribute on that other side, you get 7x minus 35. Subtract the 7x from both sides. Negative 5x is equal to negative 35. When you divide, you get x equals 7. And for 42, when you cross multiply, you get 12y is equal to 5 times 3y minus 5. So that gives you 12y is equal to 15y minus 25. Subtract the 15y from both sides. We get negative 3y is equal to negative 25. And so that's a little bit gross because we wish it came out clean. We get 25 thirds, which is 8 1/3. All right. I hope that made sense. We're going to try to apply this stuff today and use it a little bit. And so good luck.